Good morning. Good morning. Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Greater Naples. My name is Tony Fisher. I am grateful to serve this congregation as its minister, and I'm grateful to welcome you all here this morning, whether you're here in the sanctuary or out there in the ether land of Facebook or out on the pavilion. It's great to see you all this morning. If you're joining us for the first time today, I know there are a couple people, if you're willing and feeling brave, to raise your hand and say hello and have everybody join you. We have a bunch of people here. So, welcome. Absolutely. So if you are joining us for the first time, you should know that this congregation is extremely welcoming, and we strive to create a welcoming environment and to engage you into the life of the congregation if you are here for any length of time. So welcome to you all. I'm glad you're here. And if you are new, I hope you have checked in at the visitor's desk, or if you're online, send a note to our office administrator and let us know that you're here so we can include you in our weekly email blasts and our newsletters. That would be great. There's a lot of stuff going on here on a regular basis, so keeping up to date is always a good thing. I don't have anything else to say. Other than, unfortunately, our co-music director, Sean Allison, has contracted COVID, and so he's taking all precautions and staying home today. Abby is joining us, masked, so everything else all right. And we have some representatives of the choir here who either got the message that choir had been sort of canceled for today or not, and they're going to help a little bit later. Let's settle ourselves, take a deep breath, settle ourselves into this time of worship with this morning's prelude. This moment is beautiful, for we have gathered. For we have gathered in common purpose. In common purpose to do important work. To do important work that only we can do. This moment is beautiful, for together we recreate the world. Let's join together in our chalice lighting that you see on the screen or on your orders of service. May this flame stir our hearts and remind us of our mission to be truly welcoming, to grow in mind and spirit, and to widen the circle of peace, justice, and love. And let's rise as you're willing or able and join in singing our opening hymn, Gather the Spirit, number 347 in your hymnal, not 360. And the words are on the screen, so you don't even have to worry about it. Gather the Spirit, harvest the power. Our separate fires will kindle one flame. Witness the mystery of this hour. Our trials in this life appear all the same. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion, and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Gather the spirit of heart and mind. Seeds for the sowing are laid in store. Nurtured in love and conscience refined. Body and spirit united once more. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion, and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Gather the Spirit growing in all, drawn by the moon and fed by the sun, winter to spring and summer to fall, the chorus of life resounding as one. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion, and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Please be seated. So in 1978, 2000, where are we? 1979. How did I get there? 2019. In 2019, the Board of Trustees of this wonderful organization decided that we needed to create some way to honor folks in the congregation who had given a lot over time to the well-being, to the workings, to the spirit of this place. And so they created a volunteer award. Its first recipients were Roger and Sandy Brown, who are here this morning, and thus the award was named after them. And today we are presenting the award for 2022. There's only been so far 3 recipients, Roger and Sandy. Count as one. You count as one, okay? Is that okay? Kati and Dave Griffith, and Flo Beckler, who's sitting here in the front. So we honor them as we honor our recipients today. And to do that, I'm going to invite our current board president, Elaine Cooperative, up front to do the honors.
It's on? Oh, okay, good. I am so honored to be part of this presentation to two very special people who I'd like to have them come up now so we can present them with the trophy. And I think they know this. Mike and Barb Kirko, could you please come up? Why do you think I wanted you here so desperately?
Thank you.
Oh, you're okay. Now,
Let's move over
oh,
here
I'm
to the
sorry.
center so we can get the
I
camera.
apologize.
We have to appeal to those people out there,
Sorry.
too. Yeah.
Why don't one of you go on the other side?
Excellent.
So the Kirkos have been members for 47 years.
UU members.
Well, I meant, okay. Members of the, more than the 47 years of the human race, so I'll do that. They moved here full-time in 2012, and Mike immediately was nabbed to be a board member in 2013. He has served as treasurer for 7 terms, and he's still walking and talking. He's also a member of the Facilities Committee, and he puts up with me, so there you go. Barb has maintained the membership and the pledge data, and most recently served on the website committee. They've both been extremely generous with their time and energy in supporting our church and what we stand for. On Wednesday, they can be found helping with weekend meals. Barb and Mike Kirko represent everything, and I truly mean this, that is good about UU and putting others first. Let's show them how grateful we are for their tireless efforts, and on behalf of UU, thank you, Mike and Barb.
Mike, Barb, do you have anything you would like to share? No? All right.
Yes, this.
Yeah.
We can put it down.
Thank you both. I sort of knew what the answer to that question was going to be. Even though sort of Mike is the front-facing half of this incredible duo, he's not one to be totally out front. So I so much appreciate everything. And Mike was here as treasurer the year I arrived, and has served in that capacity for a lot of the years I've been here, with some exceptions, but always there on the Finance Committee supporting everything that the Finance Committee does and the Facilities Committee does. And I can't think of a better pair to share this honor. And Barb has, as Elaine said, always there working our database, making sure the figures are right, printing out the reminders for all of you to send in your pledge money. And so just grateful for the two of you. Thank you so much. Well deserved. So let's take a deep breath after that and center ourselves for a time of sharing by singing our centering hymn, Spirit of Life.
Spirit of life.
cántale tu compasión, sopla a volar, sube en la mar, hasta moldear la justicia de la vida. Arraigame, libérame, fuente de amor, ven a mí, ven a mí. So we begin by reminding you that this afternoon at 4 o'clock we'll be celebrating the life of Jim Lancaster, one of our longtime members, who passed away earlier in this summer. Thank you. And just honoring his life, celebrating his life this afternoon. I also note that today we have a birth. How many birthdays do we have today? Just anybody have the birthday today? I know that John Pipkin is celebrating today, so we're going to have some cupcakes outside for John. So Anna Riazzi has sort of figured that out, so we'll be enjoying some extra goodies on the pavilion after the service today. If you have a joy or a sorrow that you'd like to share this morning, I will bring you the mic. I will remind you that we are streaming live on Facebook, and will be recorded and kept up on Facebook and YouTube, so keep that in mind. But if you have something you'd like to share, I will bring you the microphone.
Thank you. I'm just not sure it was clear. This service this afternoon is at 3 o'clock, not 4. If you come at 4, it will be all over.
Except for the ice cream reception, so you could do that.
I'm Bobby Berglund, and for all of us, there's a great joy. Dan Goodsit, who helps this service happen every week, is walking with little pain. And if you've seen him in wheelchairs the last few weeks, you'll know what a difference today is for him. So it's a great joy that he can be here and be relatively pain-free and walking.
Yeah.
Very good news.
So exciting. Yeah, I couldn't stop smiling this morning when he wandered in without the walker.
Good morning. I'm Roger Brown, and Sandy and I are celebrating, maybe I should say appreciating. It's somewhere between a celebration and an appreciation of our daughter's 60th birthday today. Time doesn't stand still for all of you who have gray hair, as we do, and we wish it would. It's hard to imagine. As a matter of fact, Sandy said again today for the umpteenth time, I can't imagine we have a 60-year-old.
Yeah. Children when they were married, definitely. Anyone else?
Hi, I'm Dave Evans, a visitor. Thank you all. I'm praying for my ornery friend, James Boyven, who has COPD and is looking forward to his 80th next August in Heidelberg.
Our thoughts are with James then.
Yeah, hi, Meade Summers. Our daughter, our only living child, lives in California, so we don't really see her all that often. But in a couple of days, we're on our way out for 2 weeks to not only see the family, but see our grandson graduate from Cal Poly with a dual degree in computer science and biotech. So we're all excited about that.
That's great.
Thanks. I just came back from up north visiting family, and also on Thanksgiving Day, I celebrated my 75th anniversary in this country. I arrived when I had just turned 7, and So it was a big family celebration
That's
this
great.
Thanksgiving.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you for your sharing. We understand that there are a lot more joys and sorrows that reside in our hearts that have been left unspoken, and we honor those as well. And we continue to think about Sean back home, just trying to recuperate. Let's center ourselves for this morning's meditation. These words by the incredible Hope Johnson, who passed away a few years ago during COVID. Keep your dreams alive. Listen. Light the way. Lend a hand. Make decisions. Commit. Take risks. Fail forward. Build community. Nurture meaningful relationships. Be real. Give thanks. Invest in someone or something that you believe in. Live, love, dream. Dream big. Be transformed. Change the world. Lead. And keep your dreams alive. Let's share some moments in silence.
Good morning. I'm Brad Cornell and have been a member of this congregation for about 30 years, along with my wife, Martha. I would like to share a few observations about the value of this congregation to me personally. And as we are about to embark on the 2023 stewardship campaign, which is entitled Community, the Heart of Resilience. I am still working full-time as Environmental Policy Director for Audubon Western Everglades, and previously was a trombonist for the Naples Philharmonic Orchestra. During this time, it's been my privilege to serve 3 terms on the Board of Trustees, including one as president, 5 years in the choir, as well as teaching religious exploration classes for about 20 years. Most of these years, we have not had a lot of money to pledge for stewardship, but it has been very important to me to find ways to support and be involved in this religious community. Why? Well, like all of you, we have had our share of adversity as well as celebrations. We came to this congregation expecting our first child, and when there were serious medical complications, this community really took care of us. We will never forget that. Since then, we have also celebrated both children's naming ceremonies with you all, as well as OWL and coming-of-age classes, graduations, as well as the wonder of getting to know many of you, some of whom have sadly passed. As I look around, there are people in this congregation who are or have been insecure in their food, housing, transportation, and healthcare options. There is loneliness, hurt, and isolation. Hurricane Ian and the COVID pandemic have heavily impacted some among us. Racism, sexism, and other deeply embedded social harms affect us all, some much more than others. But there have also been marriages, births, namings, and then graduation of many children, wonderful meals, concerts, classes, caring, cards, talks, silences, choruses, marches, parades, gifts, backpacks, causes, and celebrations of lives and life. I have thought about this many times over these years, and one primary lesson I draw from my life with you is that I need you and our community in order to stay vital and resilient to life's inevitable adversity, as well as the equally important sharing of triumphs. Further, as we look out on a world that seems to be careening in dangerous directions, it is only for those individuals and communities that are vibrant and resilient in themselves to have the best chance at achieving positive change. In other words, I believe we must practice the care and community building amongst ourselves in order to be lights for the wider world. It's part of coming to know who we are as members of this community, and I encourage us all to invest in that healthy resilience of ourselves and each other so that our local and larger community ambitions can begin to be realized. Now, before I sit down, I need to tell you that in the spirit of the stewardship season, you will be visited by 2 more spirits of this community. Heather Bladich on next Sunday, December 11th, and Linda Swears on January 8th. I recommend you carefully heed their words for us. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Brad, and for all you have done for this congregation and Martha. So because Sean is not with us today, we are going to begin this sort of cooperative effort and sing together the response to the reading, or today the reflection. So I will be leading along with these incredible choir members the first verse, and then we're going to invite you to join in and sing all 3 verses with us. The words will be on the screen. You'll have to pick up the tune, but I think it's pretty simple, so let's give it a shot. We are bound together when we are sharing. We are free to be both in our sharing and in our sharing. We are bringing change. We are making peace. Please join. When we are singing, first verse, stand. We are bound together when we are sharing. We are free to be both in our singing and in our sharing. We are bringing change. We are making peace through times of trouble, through times of pain. We offer healing like a gentle rain. Both in our healing and in our caring, we are bringing change. We are making peace when we are helping friends. Both in our, we are making peace. That sounded nice. So I have a question for anybody who wants to answer it this morning. Why are you here? Seriously, why are you here this morning? Anybody want to offer up an answer to that question? George.
For the cook.
For the
cookie.
The cookies. You know, I should have been sort of anxious about the fact that you raised your hand, but I just forgot for a moment that. Anyone else? Patty?
I joined this congregation in '87 to be with like-minded people. I was desperate.
And you're still here. That's great. All right, I'm going to go this way. We won't do too many of these, but...
I'm here because I like to spend 1 hour a week thinking about what really matters.
Awesome. Awesome. Anybody over here? All right. Oh, Roy. Sorry. I'm out of practice with this walking around thing.
I show up every week because every week my family of love grows when I visit with you people after the service, and my heart has been opened by the service.
Great. Thank you, Roy. All right, last one over here, Jean.
I'm here because I'm just so grateful to be a part of this. It's really an extended family, and to be introduced to a way of life and a way of thinking, and to some of the opportunities in this congregation for social justice. Today at noon, we're just so privileged to have Judge Laura Espinoza and Nele Rodriguez join us to show how we put some of our beliefs into action. I'm so grateful for our congregation for providing these types of opportunities for us to learn about how we and others in the community can live our values. Thank you.
Great, Jean. Thank you so much. And thank you all. This is a very rich community in so many different ways. Some of us are here for justice work. Some of us are here because we need shelter from a beautiful but sometimes scary world. Some of us come out of isolation and loneliness, seeking others who can join in our journeys. Some of us come seeking that kind of community, understanding that there's a deep set need in each one of us for finding others and traveling together. Our families could be all over the world, but here in this space there's a group of people who we can share our lives with, our work with, our joys and our sorrows. At the same time, we show up with a certain set of beliefs formed through our experience, through our nurturing, through our living. Some of us can articulate those beliefs pretty clearly. Some of us struggle with how we might express that to other folks. But we're always curious as well about how other people feel about this life, this journey. What is of most importance? Some say their worldview is pretty well set. Others consider themselves on a grand journey of discovery. The things that are of greatest importance, like Anne mentioned, range from family, our own personal and immediate questions of ultimate concern, to the idea of honoring the interdependence of this universe, of individuals, of creatures, of the plants, the earth itself, the universe, understanding how we are all connected. And once we've all arrived here in this space, whether we come regularly, whether we show up every once in a while, we've begun to understand what everyone who does stay knows, that it feels good to be in community. The idea of traveling this road together is appealing. We begin meeting more people, making friends. The sense of walking in the door for the first time and feeling that there's something right here sort of mellows into a sense of belonging. And it's at that point, perhaps, and we start to think about how we might engage a little bit more. Being part of what amounts to a cooperative. Unitarian Universalist congregations are volunteer organizations. We don't carry lots of staff. The work of the congregation comes from the ground up. One of our principles is a belief in the democratic process. And so it is a cooperative of people who come, who recognize the value of being here and join together in the work. There are always those who, roll up their sleeves, or maybe for a better metaphor, admired those folks who do that. I tend to be someone over the course of my life who have sort of held back a little bit and observed and waited to see where I might fall in. There are all those who would like to be part of something but just don't know how to sort of engage, or maybe they're just waiting to be asked. And there are those, let's face it, who shy away from being involved, who enjoy the time here among friends and feel that they are sustained by the friendships they make and maybe sitting on the pavilion after the service. But whether you fit into any of these types or are still hovering uncertainly on the margins, whether you've been here a very short time like this morning, welcome to all those who are here for the first time, or whether you've been here for 27 years or however long. We recognize that there is a spirit here, a sense of connection that grows the more we get involved. It's sort of, for me, in my experience as a lifelong Unitarian Universalist, I mentioned that I hesitate, but when I actually sort of lean in and become more involved, then I have found so much reward in that. Getting to know people, finding a sense of challenge in breaking through my areas of discomfort into areas of possibility. Reaching just a little bit beyond what I think I can do, and risking that, as the reading said, being willing to fail forward into the work so that I can grow and that I can learn, and together, if we do that, we keep moving, we keep growing, we keep changing, we keep understanding that what this is all about is that growth, that change, that possibility that we can generate together. The fact that in this congregation, like in many places across the country and congregations and other organizations that rely on volunteers, it's struggle these days. We need people to step up and believe so strongly in Unitarian Universalism. It's always been a wonder to me that here are these few people in a congregation, and this is often the way. There's nothing new here. But so few people in the congregation that are working really hard, trying to keep things going and wondering why others aren't joining in this work. And so there's a little frustration on that side, and possibly on the other side, there's this sort of not understanding that there's a need. And so I'm here to tell you there's a need. In his book, Serving with Grace, Lay Leadership as a Spiritual Practice, the Reverend Eric Walker Wickstrom reminds us that the most superficial and practical reason to get involved is that the congregation needs you. We are, after all, a voluntary organization that depends on gifts, not just of financial resources, but of our time and talent as well. Unitarian Universalist congregations, like many others, have a staff. Here at UUCGN, we have 2 full-time staff members, myself and Anna Riazzi, our congregational administrator. Everybody else works part-time. And our job is not to carry the load of the congregation. Our job is to support you in that work. Active participation in the life of this spiritual community or any spiritual community also gives you an acknowledged stake in it, empowering you to take and make the community your true home, spiritual or otherwise, infusing it with your values, with your talent and your treasures. The active shift from having something of a consumer mindset to feeling that you are becoming a stakeholder, a member of a cooperative, invested in the health and future of the congregation is a big step. But it's the first step and the important step. Wickstrom suggests that while Sunday morning sermon or the mission of the congregation, ours is that we are a welcoming congregation freely seeking intellectual and spiritual growth, that we strive to create a larger community of peace, justice, and love. So Wickstrom suggests that what we do during the week, in our meetings, in our projects, the folks in the kitchen, the folks in the garden, if we infuse that with that mission and our sense of values, and think about it as a spiritual practice, all those things we do, that is how we begin to deepen into the work, separating it from our sense of maybe it's drudgery or maybe it's just one more thing I can't do, to thinking of it as something, how we invest our time, how we bring our spirit into the moment. Another way of meditating. Members, we were supporting members of the Cambridge Cooperative. I don't know if anybody is aware of that. Harvard Square, there was this wonderful organization that had great produce, that had wonderful grains, they had lots of great foods from all over the place, sourced from small farms, small individuals who were creating these wonderful products. And the cooperative, you could be a sustaining member, a supporting member, by paying a dues in, and by paying dues in, you would get a discount for your purchases. But the cooperative was run by volunteer members. They were working members. The whole cooperative was run by people who volunteered their time at least 4 hours a week to make the thing run. And it did. And one of the things I always remember was, in being a sustaining member, that they would sort of advertise all the fun things that the working members got to do together, just because they wanted to celebrate each other. And us sustaining members didn't necessarily get invited to those things. But it was a wonderful ideal of a group of people coming together and making something like that work. Of course, this was Harvard Square in the 1970s and early 80s, so a lot of people with that cooperative sense that this is how we need to be able to do things. And that hasn't gone away. That is really who we are as an institution. We're a cooperative. As Anne said, thinking about those things that are of ultimate concern to each of us. What is the important things? And then carrying that through into what we do here, understanding that the work we do here or out in the community is a way for us to begin to express what is important in our lives. Whether we're standing side by side with somebody, that work together is incredibly enriching if we allow it to be, if we infuse it, as I said, with our own values, with our own sense of what's important, and align those things. Service as a spiritual practice uses the day-to-day activities of the congregation as a focus point. And it isn't about the idea of meet people, grow, challenge yourself. And this is a wonderful laboratory in which to do that. Now, working together with 320 or so other free thinkers also raises challenges. And again, what better place to learn how to engage different ideas, different personalities, ask, why can't people just get together and be cooperative? So here is the laboratory. Here is the practice field. Here's the place for you to step forward and be part of something that can grow. One more piece of this that I've been feeling lately is that when I go out, or when Ellen Hemrick goes out, or when any of us go out and show our face in the public arena working for justice, knowing that there is a strong and vibrant congregation here allows us to do that. Otherwise, we're just doing it as individuals. But we are struggling with the day-to-day functioning of an organization that should be, can be, and I hope will be, just a wonderful cooperative machine that lifts us all. Spirit, remind us that in choosing this path together, we are challenged to balance both freedom and responsibility in the difficult ordinariness of now. Empower us to be bold participants rather than timid saints in waiting. Inspire us to use our minds and our hands and our hearts in pursuing our dreams for this community and for the wider world. And by grace and goodness, to find treasures of joy, of friendship, and peace hidden in the daily fields we are given to plow. So you've heard a lot about our congregation today. I hope that you will be generous in your offering today in the ongoing mission of this congregation's life and work. So some of you have noticed that on the back of your order of service today, there's a informal, unscientific volunteer survey. I hope that while you're here in the sanctuary or on the pavilion after the service, that you'll look at that and maybe fill it out and just give us some idea about where you are in terms of volunteerism in this congregation. Today, after the service, we welcome Judge Laura Safer Espinosa of the Fair Food Standards Council and Nelly Rodriguez of the Coalition of Immokalee Workers for our forum at noontime. As we continue our relationship, our great relationship with the Coalition and all the work that it does, and agreeing to provide farm workers with the right kind of environment to work and also the right kind of compensation so that they can live at least a meaningful life. So we're excited about that. I'm excited about meeting Judge Laura for the first time. I haven't done that before. I'm grateful to see Nellie again. The forum today. So then let's see. Next Sunday, the UU Ukes will be here in the sanctuary. I don't know if you are aware of the UU Ukes, but we have a group of both youth and adults who have been practicing their ukuleles, and they will be part of the service next Sunday. And then the following Wednesday, the 14th of December. The holiday music extravaganza on the pavilion, which was such an incredible event last year with members of the congregation participating in singing songs of the season, not just Christmas songs, but other things. Just a great night on the pavilion. So I hope you'll mark that on your calendar. It's a wonderful Wednesday event. We start with a little Vesper service here in the sanctuary and then move out for fellowship and then some wonderful joint singing and listening. Our holiday service is coming up on the 18th. We have a eclectic lessons and carols with music from different traditions, readings about justice. So it's a folk and justice lessons and carols with music and words from all cultures. And then on the Christmas Eve, we will have our usual tribute today, either in person or online after the service. Thanks to everyone's support for this. This is an opportunity for us to be able to provide families locally who need support in creating a reasonably good Christmas for their family to do so. So I hope you'll see Alice out outside the front doors as you exit today, or again, you can go online and donate on our webpage. I'm excited about that. And I think that's all the announcements I have. So if you would, think about filling out the volunteer survey. But now, a new day dawns once more, the gift is given. Wonder fills this moment shared together. The light of peace here shine upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. Among us, the light of love here shine upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. Each day, a wonderful day.